Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. It is Tuesday, July 3rd, 2018, almost Independence Day here in the United States. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome everyone here to my first of two gameplay streams for a full-on day of fun streaming action. How is everybody? I certainly hope that I find you guys well, and you're doing well. Today's going to be a fun day. Today's going to be a fun one. Because today's a pretty cool event. I am actually able now, 9 years later. I mean, 9 freaking years is a long time, guys. I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. 9 years is an incredibly long time. Especially for, you know, a lot of us are young, right? We're all on the younger side. I'm probably older than a lot of you watching, but most of us are on the younger side. 9 years is probably a significantly long chunk of all of our lives. You know, for me, it's a 1/4 of my life. 25% of my life. All right. That I've been doing gameplay videos for the internet. And on a daily basis, sharing my fun gameplay experiences with you guys and gals. And it was 9 years ago. 9 years ago, when it was 2009, and I was in the midst of kind of seeing that this YouTube thing that I was doing as a hobby was becoming pretty popular, and people were really enjoying the kind of stuff that I was doing. Now, back then, I still had kind of a disconnect with my audience. What I mean by that is, at this point, I still didn't really take it seriously, what I was doing. Like, I knew I was playing games and recording them with a camera and uploading them, and I was having fun talking with people on the internet about the videos, and yes, my YouTube channel, Darkside Phil, was getting some popularity at the time, and was actually shooting up in the ranks of people making videos on YouTube, and at the time, between the years of 2009 and 2010, Darkside Phil was constantly in the top viewed channels on YouTube, as well as the most viewed channel pages on YouTube. But that was a very different era. That was an era when I remember you could make your own custom backgrounds for your channel and make your channel look really unique and different. You could set it up in different ways. And what I would do is when I did a big playthrough, I would take fan art. People would design these channel layouts for me, and I would change my channel to be basically a big promotion for the game that I was currently playing. And it would be a big event where when I played a new game for 2-3 days, everyone on YouTube would come to my channel to watch me play the big new game, the hot new game. But at that time, I had never made a penny making videos for YouTube. It was actually 2.5 years where I was really putting my heart and soul into YouTube, where I'd never made any money on it at all. It was for the love of gaming and for the love of doing this as a hobby and just having a great time. So the reason I bring this up is because in 2009, a game called Red Faction Guerrilla released. Now, I had never played a Red Faction game before. I didn't know anything about the series. And this game ended up being a pretty unique and fun playthrough for me because it was not only a third-person exploration-style game where you do lots of combat and lots of interesting stuff, but also had a good plot and a really awesome destruction engine where you could really destroy girders and destroy other things and basically have things fall down. Entire buildings could fall down. You could vaporize half of a building with a bomb or a gun, and then the rest of the building would fall down. And it was a really cool aspect of the game, this destruction. I remember this being like the key selling point of this game, okay? So anyway, at this point in time, my YouTube channel was not ginormously huge, but I was getting a lot of popularity, and so this playthrough, being that I played this game from start to finish, which back then I actually didn't do that all the time. Back then, a lot of games I would just do highlights, and it was in 2009 where I started doing more full playthroughs. Not only did I play this game from start to finish, I reviewed it because I actually felt that I had done enough in the game to give it a fair review, and I called my review The Hateful Truth, and that spawned, you know, how many hundreds of reviews over the next decade, as I, you know, went through this as a more serious thing. So the reason that today is a really cool time, alright, is because Red Faction Guerrilla, one of these earlier playthroughs I did, you know, within my first year of being a YouTuber and getting popularity, has been remastered on modern consoles and was released today. So, talk about full circle, being that this year is my 10th anniversary as a content creator. that I now get to, during this summer downtime, replay through one of my earliest playthroughs ever, one of the games that put me on the map and got me a lot of attention on YouTube. In fact, a lot of people I've been seeing recently, I've been seeing people say, wow, you know, this Red Faction Guerrilla game is the game that I first saw Phil on YouTube playing. And this is the one that I, you know, heard of who he was and started checking out his videos and his content. For many of you, obviously, who have joined me over the years as viewers, this may be a first time where you're ever going to see me play a game like this. You never saw the original playthrough, and that's perfectly cool. Alright, but for many of you, maybe this will be a throwback playthrough. And boy, has a lot changed in 9 years, guys. I mean, let's face it. Let's just count the changes, okay? Number 1, direct capture, full HD. Number 2, better, you know, audio with a studio quality mic and soundproofing foam in my office. Number 3, now integrating the face cam / webcam in every single playthrough. Number 4, live streaming, right? Which I never did until 2013. And then number 5, the interaction between you guys and me. You know what I mean? This is going to be very different from the original playthrough. Very different for many, many different factors. But you know what? Coming full circle, it feels great to be able to come back and re-experience a game. One of the games that originally put me on the map on YouTube. And that's a cool feeling. It really is. So thank you guys for all the support over the years. And I hope that you guys enjoy Red Faction Guerrilla re-mars-tered, as they're calling it. Because it's on Mars. Should be pretty fun. Starting up today. So that's my first gameplay stream for today. You know, over 4 hours of Red Faction Guerrilla re-mars-tered here on the PlayStation 4. Then later tonight, my second stream tonight will be Half-Life 2 Episode 2 continuing on. Alright. That should be fun as well. Looking forward to that. And we're near the end. We're getting near the end of Episode 2 and finally the big conclusion of Half-Life 2. And we can move on to other stuff. And it is incredibly challenging because I'm carrying the gnome through the whole damn thing. And a lot of people have been saying the playthrough has been better because I'm doing that it would be more boring if I had just run through it normally. But being able to carrying the gnome through the whole thing in order to get the secret achievement is, you know, incredibly challenging and causes a lot of fails and frustration. And people seem to be liking that, so I'm glad that I did that, okay? So that continues tonight, all right? That continues. Pretty good. Then, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is Independence Day, July 4th. In the United States. It's a national holiday, and I fully realize that many of you will be busy with your own personal stuff. Many of you may be doing cookouts with your family and friends, and you won't be around to watch the streams. That's cool. I obviously understand that ahead of time. I'm not silly where I'm going to think that we're going to have just as many people on a national holiday, okay? But for those of you who will be around to hang out with me, I am doing a full day of gameplay streaming tomorrow on Wednesday. Now, what's the main game going to be? I'm actually going to leave that in your hands. What I'm going to do overnight is I'm going to do a poll on my Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, and I'm going to ask you guys, for July 4th, would you prefer to see Simpsons Hit and Run, or would you prefer to see more Red Faction re-mars-tered? All right, I'm going to put the power in your hands overnight. Okay, now, whatever you vote will be my main gameplay stream for tomorrow, okay? It'll be fun, another 4 hours of whatever game you vote in. And then tomorrow night, Wednesday night, I'm going to be doing a 2-hour gameplay stream of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. We'll see how it goes. I hope that it goes well. It's very hit or miss when I play that game because, sadly, sometimes the connections are pretty bad, so we'll see, okay? So, yes, my friends, more Street Fighter Super Turbo action tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, whatever I did not play on Wednesday for the first stream will be played on Thursday. So, you know, if it was Red Faction on Wednesday, it'll be Simpsons on Thursday, or vice versa. And then Thursday night, I have a 2-hour stream, and you're wondering, gee, what's it going to be? Well, it's going to be determined, and here's why. It might be more Half-Life 2 if I don't finish Half-Life 2 tonight. And if that's the case, it'll probably be the conclusion of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 Thursday night, okay? But if I don't need to do more Half-Life 2, what if I finish it tonight or whatever? Then it'll be something different. Maybe it'll be more Fighting EX Layer. Maybe I'll do more Mario Tennis Aces. I'm not sure. I'm purposely leaving it open as an open stream based on how far I get in all the other games this week. Okay, so Thursday night, a little bit up in the air. And then on Friday, my friends, huge event, the return of Persona 5. After a year on hiatus, this playthrough was on hiatus for a freaking year because of the stupid false copyright strikes that I got from Atlas. Not Atlas, you know, not Atlas America, but Atlas Japan, who didn't know what the hell they were doing, okay? Yeah, that's going to be Friday, the big return of Persona 5. So for those of you who have enjoyed yourselves with my Persona 5 playthrough, you really liked it, and, you know, 80 freaking hours of Persona 5 gameplay that I did last year, and then had to put the damn thing on hiatus because of bullshit reasons. Guess what? It resumes this Friday. So I hope you guys will be here for the continuation of Persona 5 this Friday, okay? So that's the schedule for the week. Tons of variety, tons of throwback fun, and I am really enjoying so far how July has gone, and I hope that you guys are enjoying everything so far as well, and looking forward to a lot more, okay? So thanks for that, my friends. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get right into the plugs and get them over with so that I can get to shoutouts. I don't want this pre-stream to go on insanely long, but typically what happens is the shoutouts end up taking forever. But it is what it is. That's what happens when you do an interactive stream, right? Okay, so everyone, thank you guys for 10 awesome years. Thank you very much for allowing me to do what I love for a living. I appreciate all the support you have lent me, and I want to keep doing this for as long as I can, so thank you for that. In particular, thank you for watching my streams and videos. Obviously, that's the best way that you can support me, is to watch the stuff. But if you want to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher, there are a few ways you can contribute to help me out tremendously. The first would be to check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Your monthly pledges earn you personal perks that give you things back, like being able to nominate and vote on games for events, getting a private Q&A video, etc. Those are just a few of the perks. If you give it a look right now, all right, pledging $5 or more is going to allow you to participate in events that may happen this month if we hit our subscriber goals here on Twitch. Those events are the 10th anniversary History of Rage anniversary event, where you're going to be able to nominate and vote on the best videos, playthroughs, and things that I've done in 10 years for me to react to on a stream, and possibly a second Patron's Choice playthrough as well as the secondary goal, all right? So please give it a look, patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to anyone who pledges now, and thanks to anyone considering pledging in the future. You guys are awesome, and thank you for your help and support. Number 2, I have a Teespring shop where I sell merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. It's all great quality stuff, and if you buy anything from that shop, I get a commission from it, and it helps me out. So please give it a look over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And FYI, if you have been trying to maybe get something from that shop in the past month or two and noticed that for some reason it said stuff was on back order, that's because some of the listings had expired and I hadn't noticed it because no one had told me. I fixed that this week, so now you can go get the items that you've been waiting for. All right, some of the oldest designs, the longest running designs that are the most popular, like the DSP Skull design, is now back in stock, okay? All right, and then, last but not least, guys, if you're here live on the stream and you would like to contribute, you want to maybe get a shout out during today's stream, well, there's 3 ways you could do that. If you either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me. If you do any of those things during the stream, you will get a verbal shout out. With a few criteria, I just ask that you try to keep it positive. Don't insult others. Don't bring drama into here. Don't bring up other people who are detractors or who are jerks or whatever. I don't care about any of that crap. This is supposed to be a positive, fun gaming environment where everyone can chat and interact and have fun with each other. Not a place for toxicity and drama and stupidity, okay? So it's subjective what I read on my stream. Understand that. If you guys cheer, sub, or tip and I choose not to read something, that's completely within my power. But in general, most people get it, and we have very positive and fun streams here on a daily basis, all right? Now, in addition to the verbal recognition, there's 2 ways you can get visual recognition. First of all, as you guys can see, we have the Stream Stats leaderboard live on the stream today. So if you either cheer, sub, or tip, and you become the top cheerer or top tipper for the day, you will get up there on the leaderboard, and that will be a running leaderboard I update during the course of the day. Okay, so that's cool, right? That's number 1. Number 2, maybe you'd like to see a cool animation play during the stream. Well, you can do that if you either cheer 50 bits or more in one cheer, or if you subscribe to the channel and wait a few minutes, and then click on the share button that appears after you subscribe, or if you tip me $5 or more in one single tip. You'll get an on-screen thank you animation that will play, and that's awesome because you get visual and verbal recognition because you're still going to get the verbal shout-out as well. So it's pretty cool. You can either do it anonymously or you leave it a name and a message, and it's double recognition for your contributions, okay? So thanks to anyone who contributes during today's stream. My goal is to make it so that Twitch becomes my main and primary source of income, so I don't ever have to worry about YouTube revenue anymore. I really want to eliminate YouTube ad revenue as being a major factor in my income. Right now, it very much still is, and that kind of stinks because it basically puts me at the whim of YouTube. Who watches what on YouTube? Does YouTube ad revenue go up and down? Does it put me in a bad position? Yes, it still does. But we're well on the way. Every day I'm getting tons of new followers. I'm getting tons of new people watching the streams, tons of new people contributing. And if we keep up the rate that we're going, we can see very positive growth and maybe be freed of the limitations of being a YouTuber, which is what I want, all right? And I'm sure that's what you guys want, too, since you guys love my streams, right? Okay, now, a couple more things. Subscribing. As you guys can see, we do have a monthly subscriber goal set up, 485 subs. Currently, we're at 434. I'll have to double-check that to see if it went up or down during pre-stream. But if we hit 485 subscribers at any time during the month of July, I'm going to be doing a 10 Years of Rage anniversary event, all right, where people will be nominating and voting on their favorite moments of 10 years of content that I've put out for us to all live react to together on a live stream, all right? It's going to be a really fun event. It's going to be fun to go back and reminisce on some of my old playthroughs, vlogs, and the like, okay? Going to be really fun. And I hope that we hit the event. I really do. I really want to do this event. But you guys have to subscribe if you want to make it happen, all right? Subscribing gives you many benefits, including access to all of my emotes here on the channel, in addition to not having to watch advertisements when I run them on the channel, which I do take at least 1 or 2 ad breaks every major stream. And, of course, you get the cool Chat Crown Loyalty Badge, which starts out as a bronze badge and then upgrades to silver after a 3-month sub of support. After 6 months, it turns gold, and then it keeps upgrading at 12 and 24 months as well, all right? So, subscribing helps you. You get cool stuff, helps me out, and it allows us to do fun events here as a result of hitting a certain milestones of subs. So, please subscribe to the channel, my friends, if you really like the stuff, okay? Alrighty. Last but not least, I've mentioned tipping, and you might wonder, well, how do I tip? That doesn't seem to be available. It's not an option like cheering and subbing is integrated here into Twitch. Tipping is a method by which you can support me via PayPal, all right, during the streams, and it's completely separate from everything else. And in particular, guys, if you're wondering, gee, what's the way that I can help fill out the most right now? The answer is tipping. Tipping helps me out tremendously. Those are funds that I can use right away to pay bills and the like, and very, very, very true that I need your help right now because these early week to 2 weeks of every month, all my bills clear. And in particular, you know, things like my mortgage, my utilities, my credit card bills, everything clears at once. And it empties my bank account all the way out until I get my payments for YouTube and Twitch, which don't come until about the middle of the month. So any tips you give me right now help me out tremendously. I'm going to put them straight to my bank account to pay bills, all right? So if you really want to support me today, please tip me. That being said, the 2 ways you can tip are as follows. Either, if you're watching live on stream right now, if you look below the stream, you should see a button that says Tips Jar. If you click on that button, it'll take you to the Twitch PayPal, to my PayPal tips page, by which you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message. Or if you don't see that tips jar button, that's cool. You're probably on a mobile version of the site. You can type in !tip into the stream chat. And then a link will pop up that you can click on and boom, takes you to the tips page where you can leave a tip via that method as well. So please consider doing so, especially if you like my content and you want to see me continue to put on these fun, interactive, free streams every single day. That's how you can help, all right? Sound good? All right. Sounds good? All right. Thank you, guys. Now, it's time for shout-outs, our shout-out segment, where I take some time to thank those of you who have contributed via cheering, subbing, and tipping during the stream. First of all, we've got 2 people who actually contributed overnight when I wasn't even broadcasting, which is awesome that there are people who keep me in mind when I'm not even here live, and they think about me and they help me out, all right? Who are these people? Well, the first person is Infinite55, who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much for that, Infinite. And then number 2, we've got Anani Formad, who did a 3-month resub and said, thanks for 9 years of great content, bud, and for as many more as possible. Very nice. So thank you to Anani Formad, who resubscribed for the 3rd month in a row. Okay. Now, moving on to those who have cheered, subbed, and tipped during today's stream in particular. It's time to start updating the leaderboard as well. Okay. So we start out with the Lord Lamb V3, who cheered and said, I specifically remember in this playthrough back in 2009, you actually stopped donations as you no longer needed them, and the trolls still say that you're in this purely for the money. Well, if I remember correctly, when I first started on YouTube, okay, when I absolutely first started, way back when, it was a hobby. I had a full-time office job. I worked at a helicopter company, customer support, and then later on continuous improvement. And I didn't need, you know, what I did, as I did this for a hobby, yes, what I would do is I would have games that I would have to buy out of my pocket, and it was expensive. Because I remember, you know, oh, I'm going to buy a game, 2 games this week or whatever, you know, spending $120 a week or whatever, pretty pricey. Especially when I was working this office job and I had a lot of other bills and everything going on. It wasn't like this was my job and it was a business expense or anything like that. It was just for fun. And I think when I first started, I may have been accepting donations. I don't remember. But I do specifically remember I shut that off at one point. And I said, I'm not going to accept any donations. The bottom line is I'm never going to ask for anything unless I need it. Okay? And that is actually the truth. If you actually follow my history as a content creator on the internet, from the years of when I first started all the way through 2014. Actually, I take that back. It was 2015 when I opened up my Patreon account in early 2015. Okay? So that's what? You know, I was started out in 2008, so that was 7 years that I never really accepted donations. Now, people sent me stuff over the years. They sent me gifts. They sent me games and whatever, but it was never anything that I actively asked for, and I never had a PayPal where I accepted donations or anything like that. I never had any Patreon crowdfunding until I absolutely needed it in 2015 when my channel saw a very sharp decline, because it was actually that particular year of 2014-2015 when YouTube changed all their algorithms so that basically it went into engagement and length of your videos rather than how many people actually watched your videos to determine how you got into YouTube search. And I saw a sharp decline in viewership from 2014 to 2015 because of this, okay? And so then I was like, no, real talk, if I just moved out here to Washington, I got a house and everything that I'm trying to maintain, and now I got a big decline in income, I need something to supplement that, and that's when I opened up my Patreon for the first time. So for 7 years, I never really accepted donations at all. And the bottom line is I would do that again if I was in a position where I didn't need it. Like, for example, if for whatever reason, I don't know, I hit the lotto, okay, I obviously would shut off everything. I would shut off all donations if I hit the lotto. I'm not going to take money from people and stuff if I don't need it. But sadly, what we've seen over the years is the complete and polar opposite of that happening. Instead of me becoming in a better financial position, sadly what's happened, YouTube has been on a monstrous decline. Year after year after year, more bullshit, false copyright strikes hurting my channels, you know, in a big way. Big amounts of slander and defamation against me on the internet. That obviously turns off newcomers from coming to check out my content, despite the fact that those who actually do come watch my streams say, wow, this is actually very different from what I expected from those negative videos, and I enjoy it, and now I'm going to hang out and watch Phil from now on. A lot of people are just shocked at how different it actually is to be here on a fun stream, right? And then, of course, we had the YouTube ad apocalypse last year where their ad revenues literally were halved. They lost a lot of their giant advertisers. And it's just come to the point where you cannot be a Let's Player anymore like I am and make a living on YouTube. So we've had to turn into these more interactive streams. And the rest is history. I actually think my content now is better than it's ever been because it's interactive and fun like this. But yeah, now obviously I'm accepting all kinds of different, you know, contributions and donations, because really it's crowdfunding is the future in my opinion. You know, YouTube's method of, oh, just put ads on your videos and make a living off ad revenue is done. I don't think it's really viable anymore for anyone but the big dogs out there. For the rest of us, to be successful, it's going to have to be crowdfunding. People who just enjoy what you do and want to help you out via, different methods of support. All the different ways that I have, Patreon, Teespring, cheers, subs, tips, and all that, right? So, there you go. But yeah, there was a long time that I never actually accepted any kind of contributions until I absolutely needed them, And that's how I am. That's the kind of person I am. I would never be, like, doing pledge drives and shit if I didn't need help from you guys at various times, Right now I'm saying, tips. If you tip me today, it's the best way to help me. God's honest truth, I'm not making that up. Right now, financially, everything is tight. And every month, my bank account gets emptied down almost completely, and to the point where I'm risking overdrafting. And when you guys tip me earlier on in the months, it helps me out tremendously, I don't just make this shit up. This is something that is, true. And, I mean, eventually, would I like to get into a better position? Absolutely. But I'm kind of at the whim of a lot of things. I'm still at the whim of YouTube and, the different seasons of gameplay. Right now, we're in the summer, and it's dead. There's going to be no major new releases. So I know that the people who influx here, when there are new releases, the people that come in and will contribute and sub. For example, last month, Detroit Become Human and Street Fighter, when I played those 2 games, I had 100 new subs out of nowhere. Now, all those subs have gone away because those games are over. You see what I mean? So it is what it is. That's life. Things change. That's one of the major things that's changed in 9 years is that, now I am, dependent on your guys' support to keep going. It's just the truth, Things have definitely changed, but I still love what I do. All right. Wow. Boy, do I see some of the most ridiculous misinformation in my stream chat. Just sell your other house. Oh, my God. Do I really have to get into this again? I'm not going to. I'm not going to waste my time. I've only explained 400 times that I owe way more on that house than it would be to sell it, and I have no way to sell that other house. I don't want it, and I can't get rid of it, and I can't rent it. I've tried a million things, and I'm stuck in a fucking endless money pit over there. And now we got people saying I'm driving a BMW, which is completely false. Unbelievable. Anyway. Let's continue. Beard Tendy resubscribed for the 3rd month in a row. Thank you very much, Beard Tendy, for resubbing. 3 months of support. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. Game Master used Phoenix Down cheered and said, "How's your morning going, Phil?" My morning is going well. Thank you for asking. I'm very excited that I will be able to play Red Faction Guerrilla a second time 9 years later. The bottom line is I remember this about this game. It's fun and it's rewarding, but there's also some stages that are incredibly grindy, like enemy after fucking enemy. And every time you think it's over, more show up. And that's why the game is more relying on the physics engine for there's enemies in that building, just destroy the fucking building to take them all out rather than kill each enemy individually. You see what I mean? That's kind of how this game was designed. And I like that about the game. So I think this is going to be a fun playthrough to re-experience for sure. One that I've, played at the very beginning of my existence on YouTube. It'll be fun to play it now and see how it held up, okay? YOLO Dopper has cheered and says, "I'm surprised you didn't keep in contact with Bob Cigar, the guy that was really good with Honda and ST." Well, that's not true. When I used to know Cigar Bob, he was very good with Ken. Ken was his character, and he was very good with Ken. Knew some great lockdown tricks and throw loops with Ken that he would really, be some tricky gameplay. And he was a good player. He absolutely was a good player. I don't know if he plays Honda now, but always back then he was focusing on Ken. Then again, that was a long time ago, so. And by the way, his name is Cigar Bob, not Bob Cigar. Toxic Toilet Juice cheered and said, "Any special plans for the 4th? Nope, I'll be here streaming all day. I gotta be here. For me, the 4th of July is just a normal day. So I gotta be here. It is what it is, right? Third Eye the Third cheered. He said, "You should do an IRL stream for the 4th, a chill and barbecue in your backyard." First of all, I don't have a barbecue. I don't have a grill is what I should have said. I don't have a grill, so that wouldn't be possible. And like I said, number 2, I gotta be here and put in a full day of streaming. It just is what it is. Mexicano Cartel tipped me $5 and said something in Spanish. I'll read it in Spanish, and then I'll tell you what he said, because I can read Spanish. He says, "Ayúdame, estoy en el desierto y quiero un agua. Por favor, es muy importante. Now, what he said was, help me. I'm in the desert, and I need water. Please, it's very important. So, Mexicano Cartel with a $5 tip. Now, I was going to say, oh, that's the top tip for the day. However, I received an anonymous $100 tip. So thank you to whoever that was. Obviously, that's very, very generous of you. But I can't really properly give you credit because it was an anonymous tip. However, I will put that up on the leaderboard. And rest assured, as I already said on this pre-stream, later today, once I'm done streaming, that money will go straight to my bank account to pay bills for the month. Like, no lie, no exaggeration, that's exactly where it's going. So thank you very much for that. Your support is very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you to whoever that was. Very generous. Okay, last Rambo just did a 50-bit cheer and said, what are the list of debts that you still have to clear? In reality, the list of debts is crazy. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff. I got loans in my name. I got mortgages in my name. I've got credit card debt. I've got a lot of debts, all right? There's no way that I would personally go through these and outline these for you guys because, number one, it's none of your business, and number two, you'd probably crap your pants to find out how much money I actually owe due to the fact that I had so many financial obligations and responsibilities when I moved out here, and the amount of income that I made declined so sharply over the years. Like, right now, no exaggeration, I'm probably making about half as much money as I did when I moved out here. And that's not good. Because, you know, when I moved out here, I had a certain expectation of, okay, here's what you're making, right? Versus your budget and whatever. And this is what I can afford when I do this and do this. And it just didn't work out that way. Within 2 years of me being out here, my income had plummeted so much that it completely screwed me over. And then you got snowballing shit, you know. Oh, I'm finally in a good position. Oh, good, now I owe these tons of back taxes to the state. Now I have to pay a fucking new tax attorney a bunch of money. And it never really ends for me. So, I can't sit here and outline every single debt that I have. Just know that I have a bunch of them, okay? Right now, my major concern financially is taxes. Because I have not been able to pay any federal taxes yet this year. And that means that I'm behind. And what I'm hoping is that over the summer, over the fall, you know, a lot of big games coming out in particular this fall, that I will get more attention on my streams. I will make some more extra money, which I always usually do at the end of the year anyway. And I'll be able to make up to at least pay most of the taxes that I owe by next year. Because if I can't, I'm screwed. And I don't really know what to do. I don't really have an out for it, you know. And this whole situation is solely because of the old tax attorney who screwed me over. If that guy had not screwed me over, all the money that I put towards state taxes, all the money that I put towards this new tax attorney, thousands of dollars, by the way. At this point, I've probably paid about $2,000 to $3,000, if not more, dollars towards this new tax attorney to fix this whole state tax situation I've been in since last year. That all would have went towards federal taxes, and I would have been fine. But, you know, life is life. And shit doesn't work out the way you plan, especially when you pay people to do things right. They don't do it. And I got screwed. And there's not much else to really say about it. Besides, I just got to keep plugging away and put out fun, entertaining streams for you guys and hope to get out of the situation I'm in. Alright? Alright. Shout out to Third Eye the Third, who cheered and said, wow, the Seattle Online Broadcasters Association has 800 plus members. Everything of connecting with new streamers that way, grow your channel at the same time, help others, and make IRL and online friends at the same time. Do you really think that anyone is going to want to associate with me? This is what people seem to realize, is that because of the amount of toxic people that sadly follow me around constantly, I can't get sponsorships. I can't get, I mean, shit. Last year, I was set up to be in a new partnership with a company on YouTube that was going to put me in a managed partnership, and they couldn't even take me. And it's not my fault. Like, it'd be one thing if people were like, wow, Phil, you know, you really have a bad rep because of these nasty things you've done on the internet. It's the complete opposite. It's like, wow, Phil, you have a bad rep, not because of things you've done, but because these sick people who follow you around and just fucking attack the social media accounts of any company that tries to associate with you and just do really nasty shit in particular. To everyone who associates with you. Why on earth would anyone in this Broadcasters Association want to be associated with me? That is probably the most silliest thing I've heard in a while. So, Yeah, this is what you guys have to understand. When it comes to me, I am an island. And I didn't set myself up that way. That's just how it turned out. And so, really, I can't really go for other methods of things that other people do. Other streamers do this, other people do that. I can't really do that shit. Because of these nasty people that follow me around and screw with me. So, you know, does it suck? Absolutely. Would I like to be in a group of other people who we could all support each other? And yeah, but I can't. You know, I just got to kind of shrug and say it is what it is. Just continue on doing what I'm doing. Shout out to Obi-Wan Kenobi who cheered 100 bits. Said, I downloaded PUBG. It has a lot of stuff to get. I like that you can play it in first person. Hopefully these Battle Royale games won't be in beta anymore. I know, it's funny how they all release pre-release early access. All of them do that. But when you say you downloaded PUBG, I'm assuming you mean PC. Because on Xbox One, it's a piece of garbage. I hate that game on Xbox One. Anyway, shout out to Steamin' Grumpy. Steamin' Grumpy did a 500-bit cheer to become today's cheerleader. So shout out to Steamin' Grumpy for your cheer, and I'm going to get you up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much for your support. Very nice. By the way, I'm going to check on subs in a minute here, okay? LipJan1 says, I didn't read the cheer. Sorry, I must have missed it. Let me scroll down here. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so LipJan1 had a cheered and had a suggestion. He said, Phil, hope you're doing good. You ever think instead of uploading streams to YouTube, you could sell the streams? You'd make a great profit for those who couldn't show up to the stream and could still help you. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sell the streams. How on earth would I go about doing that? If you're not aware, YouTube at one point had a feature where you could make certain channels subscriber only, and I mean paid subscriber only. Like you have to pay a flat rate in order to access certain channels. It failed miserably, and they did away with the program. Okay, I never was going to do that anyway, but I didn't think it would work, and no surprise, it didn't. There were only very few companies tried it, and it failed, and no one used it. Now, from what I'm to understand, YouTube is trying this again in a different method. What they're doing is, if you become, I forget what the word is, but you know how you can subscribe to people on Twitch, right? Well, YouTube has exactly the same thing, another paid subscription deal. Although for them, supposedly what it is supposed to be more catered towards streaming. Because they're really trying to attract people to YouTube for streaming, even though they tried this 2-3 years ago and it failed miserably. They're trying again by copying everything that Twitch does. So I just got an email about this last week, or 2 weeks ago, I can't really remember, stating that, oh, this is a new feature. If people become this paid supporter of yours on YouTube, you can now set it up that videos would be available only for your paid supporters. So again, that kind of sounds to me like that kind of content, where you can set up certain videos that only people who are the paid supporters can see that. But that being said, I don't know how that would work. And no, I would never make it that you can only see my stuff if you pay. And the reason being is because I do have a 10-year legacy. For 10 years, all right, I've been able to do what I love on the internet. And for 7 years, I've done it for a living. The reason I was able to do that is because people came out and supported me, watched my content, spread the word. As you guys know, I've never had formal sponsorship. I've never had people promote me or paid to promote me. I've always been a self-made guy. And really, it is the support of you guys, the viewers, that has kept me where I am and allowed me to do this for a living. And I love that about everything that I do, that it was never a sellout situation. It was never, oh, Phil did this and became sponsored by this. It was this team. No, it was always, Phil does it all by himself. Holy shit, right? When everyone else has to find these other methods, I've been the guy who's still here doing it my way after 10 years. One thing that I've always enjoyed knowing is that people can watch my stuff whenever they want for free. Okay? Yes, there are ways you can support me and contribute if you want to go above and beyond, but my content is free. That's what makes it popular, is that you can come watch it and hang out with me on a daily basis. It's just like having a friend who you want to hang out with and play games with or whatever and interact with or whatever. It's not like, oh, this is some bigwig guy who you got to pay to get in the door. It's some exclusive fucking club where you have a cover charge to get in and see what all the hoopla is about, right? And I have people who have supported me since the very beginning. Since the very, very beginning. Alright? And they've always watched my stuff on YouTube. I wouldn't want all of a sudden now to say, well, oh well, sorry guys. You know, even though you guys are the ones who made me popular and you guys are the ones who have supported me over the years, I'm now dumping all of you, you know. That's why I'm still on YouTube and I'm still uploading videos to YouTube, despite the fact YouTube demonetizes a ton of my videos and YouTube really has just declined in recent years. I'm still there because there are major amounts of people who want to see me for free on a daily basis. And I'm not going to change that formula. Now, if there were something exclusive, like, for example, early access, you could see the videos 1 or 2 days early or something, that would maybe be something I would consider. But I haven't seen anything to that effect on YouTube. Like, at least from what I've seen, I didn't see any feature or anything to do something like that. But outside of that, no, I would never make it so all my videos and streams are now private only unless you pay money to see them. I don't think that's right. Even though I am one of the most prolific people out there that does this, I put out more hours of gameplay than most other people on the planet Earth, I wouldn't do that. So it is an interesting suggestion. However, I don't see that it's viable right now. I would definitely like to do that, or consider that. Consider doing something like early access or something in the future. But right now, I'm not aware that it's viable. Okay? Alright, shout out to Last Rambo who cheered 50 bits, says, "Wow, you speak Spanish." I do not speak it, but I can read it. I had 2 or 3 years of Spanish in high school, and ever since then I could still read the most basic. I can't read the complicated shit, but basic sentences and the like, I can read it. So, yeah, that's why I could read that guy's tip. Captain Caveman cheered. He says, "Are you planning on pre-ordering Fallout 76 to get into the beta?" Maybe. If I do pre-order it, I'm going to pre-order on PlayStation 4. So I am considering it, but there's no information right now on when the beta is going to be available. I mean, obviously the best time would be the summer. There's nothing going on in the summer. Very few new releases. Release the beta in the summer, give people something to do, and also, you know, urge them to pre-order the game. But I don't know, like, I'm really not 100% sold on Fallout 76. It really does seem to me that it's Destiny in the Fallout universe. And even though I like Fallout, I don't necessarily want to play another Destiny. I just played Destiny 2 last year, and it was kind of meh, just like I expected it to be. I played it for 3-4 major sessions, and then I was bored and never played it again. But at the same time, there's already been some people who are interested in playing with me and have expressed interest in co-oping with me. So I am considering it, alright? I'm not going to give a definite yes or no answer right now. But it's definitely a viable thing for the summertime, especially if it's dead and there's not a lot going on, okay? Alright. Shout out to Third Eye the Third who cheered again and said, "Well, I understand why sponsors don't want to deal with you, but individual people are more understanding. A decent person wouldn't care about your accident and all the other crap." Third Eye the Third, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't think you listened to what I said. The problem is not, when it comes to having any kind of relationship with me, the problem is not what I've done. You're absolutely right. People don't care about my fucking accident. That's silly. That's silly crap from over 2 years ago. And if that was going to, you know, destroy me, it would have destroyed me 2.5 years ago whenever it happened. You know, that's water under the bridge. It's garbage. The problem is the toxic people who literally follow me around and harass the shit out of anyone who associates with me. So I'll give you an example. Someone sees my content for the first time, tweets me, "Wow, Phil, I really like your content. You know, I watched your stream today for the first time. It was a good stream. Thanks a lot for the content." Immediately, 20 people fucking jump on that person and harass them on Twitter. "Fuck you, you shouldn't watch Phil, he's a piece of shit. Fuck you, fuck you." And it's like, what the fuck? The person's like, what on earth just happened? I thought I was watching, you know, a streamer who was fun, and I get attacked for liking someone? Well, fuck this. Why am I going to bother with this for? I don't want this nonsense. And then they just stop bothering with it, right? So it's the same kind of deal. Anyone, you know, a company wants to sponsor me. Within, you know, 2 minutes of me announcing the sponsorship, they get harassed the fuck like crazy, and they're like, "Well, crap, we don't want this shit, so we're not going to do it," right? And that's the problem. If I joined a streamers association, within 5 minutes of anyone knowing that I was associated with them, they'd be harassed to hell. And especially if it's a group of only 800 people, that's not very big. They're not going to want to deal with the negative shit from these quite frankly, these mentally unsound, unstable people who just go out of their way to do nasty shit. They're not going to want to deal with that shit. I mean, here, let me give you... These people have gone to the point where they've tried to cancel my utilities. They've impersonated me, calling companies and trying to make me look bad. Publicly, they've impersonated me doing things. They've done all this nasty shit behind the scenes you guys don't even know about. These people are really sick and demented. And they go out of their way to do nasty stuff. So, understand that these people would easily go after something like that. Alright? It's like I said a couple weeks ago. And people don't know about this because I really don't talk about it publicly. But there's a few people over the years. I'd say there's probably 3 people who I had really good relationships with. Other YouTubers, other streamers. And, you know, I would do stuff with them. There's one particular person, I was on a podcast once. And they really liked having me on the podcast. But they got so much negative fucking backlash from these scumbags that they were like, you know, even though you were a great guest and everything, there's no way we could do this again because look, it just basically the whole show got destroyed and we were harassed for like weeks because if we had you on the show. There, you know, there's other people over the years who I've done stuff with who just get harassed, you know, people who don't even expect, oh, I'm another streamer and I want to do some co-op with Phil, and they join me for a co-op, and the next thing you know, they're completely attacked constantly for 2 straight weeks. They get their inboxes fucking spammed. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous the extent that these nut jobs go. Okay? It's just out of control. So, there you go. I apologize, you know, that I hadn't even talk about this, but it was something that someone asked about. Again, that's why you don't see me having sponsors. That's why you don't see me, being associated with other groups. That's why, you know. What can you do? Okay. So I guess that is it for the plugs. I want to say thank you to everyone who cheered, subbed, and tipped. Oh, I got to check sub count as well. Hold on a second here. Well, 434. We stayed at 434. Didn't go up, didn't go down. We're at the same level. Okay. Alright, so thank you guys very much for your support. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who cheered, subbed, and tipped. In particular, shout out to Steamin' Grumpy for the 500-bit cheer. And for whoever, you know, donated that $100 anonymous tip. Thank you very much. That is going to help out tremendously right now, this time of month in particular. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And now before we get started, I do want to do a shout out for the top 10 cheer contributors for the week. And then we're going to start with Red Faction re-mars-tered gameplay, okay? So, shout out to the top 10 contributors for the week. In 10th place, we've got Third Eye the Third. Tie for 9th place between Infinite 55 and Shao Kahn Artist. In 7th place, we've got Game Master Used Phoenix Down. In 6th place is Zacho. In 5th place, California Thunderqueer. In 4th place, Johnny Saurus Rex. Good luck, Johnny, by the way, who I believe is now en route to Japan. I wish you the best. 3rd place is Steamin' Grumpy. 2nd place, Ultimate Boss. And 1st place for the week, Lord Lamb V3. So again, thank you guys very much for the contributions. Very much appreciated. And I just got asked by Captain of Salt, what's the sub goal for the month? Sub goal is 485 subs, and if we hit it, I'm going to be doing the 10 Years of Rage special anniversary event where people will be nominating and voting on their favorite moments over the 10-year legacy that I have on YouTube and the internet, including game playthroughs, vlogging, etc. And what we're going to do is see what the most popular things that ever are, and then we're going to watch them back together on a stream, kind of like a wow, reacting to stuff from the past and see how different things are today. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Okay? So there you go. All right. That is it, everybody. Thank you for your support. It is now time to begin with Red Faction Guerrilla re-mars-tered. Not remastered, re-mars-tered. Really looking forward to this. Hopefully I enjoy it, although I remember there was a lot of rage in the first playthrough too. Should be a good one. Thanks everybody for your support. It's time to get this show on the road. Alright.